Protest in Minneapolis after a federal agent shoots a Venezuelan man.
It comes 1 week after the deadly shooting of Renee Nicole Good. Christina Fan joins us live in the studio with the latest on the story. Christina?
Cindy and Mary, the Department of Homeland Security says its officers were conducting an operation in North Minneapolis when one of them was attacked by men with shovels. They say that officer, fearing for his life, shot a Venezuelan migrant in the leg. That migrant and officer were taken to the hospital. Protesters clashed with law enforcement overnight in Minneapolis after yet another shooting involving federal immigration agents. The city's mayor, Jacob Fry, blaming the chaos on the Trump administration.
This is not creating safety. It's certainly not creating safety when a huge percentage of the shootings that have taken place so far this year in Minneapolis have been by ICE.
The Department of Homeland Security says its officers were conducting a targeted traffic stop of a Venezuelan migrant Wednesday night when the man drove away, crashed into a parked car, and then ran on foot. Officers caught up to him. A struggle ensued, during which DHS says two people came out of a nearby apartment and began striking an officer with a shovel and broomstick. Homeland Security says, fearing for his life, that federal agent fired his gun, shooting the initial man he was trying to arrest in the leg. Afterwards, officials say all three suspects barricaded themselves into an apartment.
Eventually, federal agents made entry into the residence, and the individual was brought to an ambulance where he has been transported to the hospital.
The shooting came exactly 1 week after ICE officer Jonathan Ross fatally shot 37-year-old Renee Good. 6 federal prosecutors in Minneapolis quit this week, in part over the Trump administration's decision not to investigate the agent who shot Good, but rather investigate Good and her widow. In a primetime address Wednesday night, just before the shooting, Governor Tim Walz urged President Trump to pull back the federal immigration surge.
If you see these ICE agents in your neighborhood, take out that phone and hit record. Help us create a database of the atrocities against Minnesotans, not just to establish a record for posterity, but to bank evidence for future prosecution.
The Department of Homeland Security says federal law enforcement officers are facing a 1,300% increase in assaults against them and criticized the, quote, hateful rhetoric coming from Governor Walz and Mayor Fry. Mary, back to you.